Welcome to Infinity Reviews. So yeah! Woohoo! Oh, that's a great line. That is a great line. Eve. Hey guys, what is up? So this weekend I got a chance to go check out the new John Krasinski movie, If. And going into it, I saw the Rotten Tomato score. It wasn't the highest. I'm like, okay, it got around the 50 to 45%. I'm like, okay, that's not terrible. But this is John Krasinski, and it's a star-studded movie. So I'm like, nothing's gonna stop me to go see this movie. I want to go see it, guys. This movie is so good. I loved it. It's not a best picture movie. It's not the best picture of the year. It's not the best movie of the year. But I think it's really the first movie this year that has made me almost shed a tear. It's not a story about superheroes. It's not a story about aliens or giant sandworms. Nothing against Dune right there. I love Dune. But it's a story about us, humans, when we're kids, we always make up someone imaginary, an imaginary friend. This movie goes into like, oh, well, what if these imaginary friends, we're all grown up now, because at my age, I don't have an imaginary friend anymore. I don't have one. Yeah, I don't have an imaginary friend. I probably used to have one, if I can't remember what his name was. And then but this movie goes through the themes of, trying to find these imaginary friends, trying to find a place. But also about this girl. This girl who is, it really follows this girl named B, played by Cailey Fleming, who's kind of a newcomer. We have all these great actors. She's like the kid actor who's kind of new. And, at first, when it first started, I didn't know if I was going to be really attracted to her as a character, because I'm like, okay, what's her story, you can tell, in the beginning of the movie, it kind of plays like a montage where it's like, oh, they're going to do the classic thing, kill off a parent or kill off both parents, and she just go live for her grandma now. But, I really enjoyed her character, She's always saying, I'm an adult, when really, she's still a kid, 12 years old. And she's dealing with all these hard things, Little spoiler, because the movie's been out for a little while. Her mother has died of a sickness. It's not really conveyed what it is. And her dad, is having a surgery on his heart. And, it's really this place, because you're always thinking when I'm watching the film, oh my gosh, the worst can happen. She could lose both parents. And, that is very, very, I think, hard for any child. Personally, I've not gone through a parent death, but I have lost other people in my family. And that stuff has hit me hard. And I can't even imagine at that age losing two parents. Because I believe character B, at her age, that's when I lost, immediately lost you. That's when I lost my grandpa. And it was really, really hard for me. Because, I would always go, me and my family would always go see him on the weekend. And, following the imaginary friends, following those characters, they're very fun to watch, Personally, when I was watching the trailers, when I saw Steve Carell's character, the character he plays, he's like this purple monster, kind of fluffy, pretty monster thing, I found him to be annoying. He was very funny, very, very funny, it was very fun to watch. And, the thing also about the film is that there's this one sequence where we go see where the imaginary friends, all of them have been, Ryan Reynolds, he's guiding B there to okay, this is where they all are. Kind of like a retirement home. And, he meets this bear character who's played by the late, great Gossett Jr., which was really kind of I think it's one of his last characters he's playing. I think it was a really, really, really good performance by him. And, I could tell, I knew, it was him when he showed up. But there's a sequence where, he plays a character called Lewis, and he's this bear. And he tells B, this place can be anything that you imagine. And she imagines it, and it takes you on this really, really awesome sequence. Really awesome. And I'm going to say, guys, the entire time I was watching that sequence, smiles on my face. And, that's what this movie is. It is just a smile fest, we're following these imaginary characters, and we want to see them succeed. We want to see the people that they used to be imaginary friends of, remember them. And, of course, you have, a stat cast of characters, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Matt Damon, Steve Carell, I already mentioned. You also have Jon Stewart in there, George Clooney, many, many more. But just Sam Rockwell, just an immense cast of great actors as characters. And a lot of people say, like, oh, the draw to the movie is, you know, you have these big name actors in all these, like, little cameo roles. I'm like, yeah, but that's the only way this movie's going to make money, is getting those people out there. And then, you know, John Krasinski is also a main character in the film. He plays the dad. And the dad, you know, is very sarcastic about, you know, he's going through heart surgery. And, you know, he's doing what a dad does, you know, not trying to be sad and, like, kind of look depressed in front of his daughter. Because if he does that, his daughter's going to feel the same way. Her daughter's going to be scared. And, you know, and, like, the whole film, you know, the big thing of the film is that, you know, about imaginary friends. So it's like, wondering, like, who was B's imaginary friend? We found out at the end, spoiler, it was Ryan Reynolds. You know, she kind of, she created these characters as kind of like a way to, like, go past, like, I guess, like, maybe everything that was going on with her mother's death and with her, you know, it gave her, like, kind of a chance to live her life, because before she met Ryan Reynolds' character, she wasn't really living her life. She was sad, depressed, you know, kind of like thought the world was a terrible place. And, you know, through, I think, the imaginary friends also gained something for her being there, but also she gained something. She was able to become a kid again, you know. And, like, the movie, you know, I think is a great movie. You know, I really think you should watch it. You know, if not in the theaters, please, like, watch it when it comes on demand, because it's such a good movie. And, you know, after watching it, I'm like, John Krasinski is a director now. I will go see any movie of. You know, like, you know, John Krasinski doesn't need to go do a Marvel movie. He doesn't need to go do a Star Wars movie. He doesn't need to go do a Star Trek movie or whatever franchise movie. Like, I'm like, just keep making movies like this. Movies like Quiet Place, like If, because he's able to tell. He's able to go from telling a horrifying alien story, horror movie in Quiet Place, to going to telling a movie that's going to make you cry and care about these CGI characters in If. He's just fantastic. And this is a movie about us, about people. And, you know, we don't get a lot of movies like that anymore. You know, seeing this kind of remind me of, like, one of those movies, you know, you'd see back in the 2000s, you know, if that's, like, kind of like a romantic comedy, or, you know, what was that? There was that movie with Ryan Reynolds and Abigail Breslin, you know, that I feel like kind of like this was the same kind of Ryan Reynolds character as that. And that's why I really enjoyed it, you know. And, you know, it's just telling us, like, this is just telling the movie theaters was like, oh, people aren't going to go see original movies. Like, even one of the guys I watched, Sean Chandler, he liked the movie. You know, you look around Tomatoes, he said he liked the movie. And then you have, like, these other people from, like, unknown sources saying they hated it. Like, and the audience seemed to like it. Like, you know, audience, it has an 87% audience score. But, guys, this movie, I'm going to give probably an 8.5 out of 10. I think it was a great movie, a lot of fun. There were moments I laughed and moments I almost cried. But what do you guys think? You guys going to go see If? Or have you seen it already? Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time, guys. Peace.